man's masculinity and prestige that he could afford to keep a woman who couldn't shit for herself, right? She couldn't do anything. She couldn't walk. She couldn't move. She could only lay in bed and spread her legs open. And lower class women also had their feet bound, but not so badly. They were allowed to walk, but their walking was impaired. They were the whole point always in patriarchal distribution of power is that a man, however powerless in relation to other men, is always more powerful than the woman who is his property. And so that women's feet were bound so that they could walk less well than the men that they lived with.
You talked about having a historical sense, and I think in going through your various chapters, we talked about foot binding in some detail, and then there's the story of the burning or execution of 9 million witches,
yes,
most of whom were women,
yeah,
I believe. The question that leaps to mind is why. And some people have economic theories, and there are various theories of how society benefits. But it seems that the extreme of binding feet and crippling and burning at the stake, and then you go through any number of fairy tales, right? Cinderella, Snow White, etc., where the woman is always in a totally passive, if not half-dead role,
yes,
and then saved. So that's the common culture, right, reinforcing this genocide. Why? What is it in the human circumstance besides money making? I mean, or maybe you think it is money making. I don't know that creates this situation.
Well, I mean, money making comes later, and women were money. Women were the medium of exchange, the first medium of exchange, and the first owned objects in patriarchy, as far as we know. That question, it depends on how far back you go. I mean, we can look at the culture that we have, and we can say it happens because women are carnal and men hate that female carnality, and there certainly is an extraordinary body of evidence that indicates that for whatever reasons, female carnality is so horrifying to men.
Women are carnal, men are carnal too. Right?
Well, no. I mean, not culturally speaking. Mm-hmm. Culturally speaking, men are not carnal. Women are carnal. To go back to where that started, or when that started, or how it started, is so speculative that it doesn't seem useful to me. And one of the assumptions of the book is that by the time I was an adult, I had learned all of this stuff. I mean, it's happening now. I'm learning it now. I don't know how it started. I know theories. That's all. But we know what is, and that's what we have to do something about, because our lives are at stake. I mean, every day you know the brutality and the violence that women live under. And so that seems to me the priority, to understand.
I thought, though, that you offered a pretty compelling theory on when you talk about men sort of separating themselves out of nature, sort of the ecological criticism.
Oh, yeah, but when you say why, you see, mm-hmm, then you come to the question of why did they do that? Mm-hmm. I mean, how did that happen? There's no doubt that they've done it.
Mm-hmm. And that women have been made to represent the nature that they...
Yeah, I'm just saying that I'm very bewildered by that first cause question. Mm-hmm. I don't know the first cause of it.
I'm not sure. I mean, I sort of agree with you that it isn't the real question we have to obsess over. There's so much conflicting evidence and so much... and really, patriarchy under capitalism is a very specific kind of thing, and seems to me this is the history that we do have to focus on, because it's the context that we live in and where we have to work